For any business entity to survive, there must be periodic analysis on the policies and strategies that were used in the past and thereafter formulation of better workout plans moving forward. Rwanda is no different. In today's episode, we have an exclusive one-on-one interview with the Rwanda Development Board CEO, Mr. Francis Gatare, to tell us more about the achievements that Rwanda celebrates as of 2014, the challenges faced, and the year 2015 moving forward. My name is George Ndirango. Welcome to Doing Business in Rwanda.
In 2014, we are very proud that the private sector participated actively in this economy, and we saw the economy grow for over 7.8%, also surpassing some of our initial targets of 7% growth. And we are very happy for that. We saw that continue to be seen, whether it's in agriculture, where we saw about 7%, whether it's in services, whether it's in industry, where we saw close to 5%. And all these sectors that are very important to our economy generated so much growth that we saw more than 10,000 new jobs created in our economy, and more than 10,000 Rwandans were able to get new jobs as a result of this.
Would you say that the targets that were set in 2014, were all of them achieved, or were there a backlog of some that are going to be followed up on in 2015?
For the economic growth, we surpassed our targets. The target had been 7% growth sustained, and we surpassed that to 7.8% overall, which was very good because then we passed our own set target. With respect to private investment targets that we had set ourselves, we had set the bar a little bit higher than we were able to realize. But suffice it to say, we realized more than $549 million in new, fresh investment projects into our economy in 2014, which was very important because in a sense, these were what generated the additional jobs that we are talking about. And so we are very excited about that.
Okay, now, of course, the Doing Business Report 2014 was one of the biggest highlights here in Rwanda, and a lot of controversy built up around the change in the ranking system. How does RDB intend to improve this ranking?
The Doing Business Report of the World Bank is a very important report, and we value it for many reasons, one of which because it inspires us to compare ourselves with the rest of the world, but also inspires us to continuously improve our business environment. And so last year's Doing Business Report was equally as important to all those. However, the World Bank decided to change the methodology, which meant that numerically there were some changes in how Rwanda was ranked vis-a-vis some of the other countries. And we saw Rwanda numerically move up to 46th worldwide. We are still very excited about that because as far as Rwanda is concerned, nothing had worsened, even though the numbers seem to be different. In actual fact, there had been some very positive improvements, whether it's in issuing of permits for construction, whether it's in access to utilities, whether it's in registration of business and starting a business. All these areas that are very important for the life cycle of a business improved. Numerically, though, because of the internal methodologies in the World Bank, it may look different. However, we are still number 2 in our region. In fact, we're number 1 in East Africa region, number 3 all over Africa, and in some cases, we are number 1 in different indicators. And so we see Rwanda's doing business continuing to improve. And next year, we are looking forward to an even better performance.
Well, thank you for that. We'll also be looking forward to it, and we'll see you there during the rankings. Now, let's talk about the progress of MICE, with Rwanda termed as the go-to sport in terms of conference tourism. Of course, beating Nairobi, which was the headquarters for some of these very big global conventions. What is being done to ensure that Rwanda maintains that accreditation as the #1 conference tourism country?
So over the last 10 years, we have seen many conference and meeting organizers choose to host them here in Rwanda. Some from the region, some international meeting conveners. And so it increasingly became evident that Rwanda was, without very much effort, becoming attractive for business meetings, for conferences and exhibitions. And so 2 years ago, we started the MICE strategy. And this strategy is geared at two things. One is to proactively put in place facilities, infrastructure, and other business facilitation to make business tourism a reality. And number two, to actually create an industry that can begin to benefit from this by providing a service to business meeting organizers and other people that may want to have conferences, meetings, or exhibitions in Rwanda.
Is that as well, plus the convention center being unveiled? Because it's taking a bit of time. Everyone is so anxious to see it come to life and see what will be done here at the convention center.
Even though it's not yet completed, this is not a constraint. We're able to use the existing facilities with the hotels, with the other conference facilities that are available. And we are very optimistic that the Kigali Convention Center will be operational before the end of this year as well.
All right, now let's delve into a bit of numbers. Could you maybe break down sectorial performance vis-a-vis RDB's contribution to that sector? Could you please give us some numbers with that 2014 crossing over to 2015?
Just 5 years ago, the services sector was about 28% of our economy. Today, let me say at the end of 2014, we have seen the services sector grow up to 48% of our economy. What this means is that it has been growing faster than any other sector of our economy, but also it has been contributing significantly to the economy as a result. Generally, Rwandans have been beneficiaries to this improvement in our economy. Going forward, as we go towards the realization of the Vision 2020, we will see more investments go into reducing even further the cost of doing businesses by reducing the cost of transportation, by providing more access to energy, by providing more access to financial services, including more access to credit. Rwanda is today still #1 in Africa in the ease of getting credit. And so we're very happy with what our business sector is able to do, but we are continuing to improve in that.
Moving away from that, let's just talk about equality, which is a common factor that most countries are adopting now, where they want to see men and women have the same hand at products and services. Now, would you say Rwanda is among the countries that are better than others in terms of ensuring that the women have the same roles in government, in the informal sector, the formal sector, in terms of provision of services and products?
It is true that Rwanda has continued to be at the cutting edge of creating equality amongst its people across the board. And this goes back to the underlying philosophy and principles that govern our country. You'll see it in politics, you'll see it in business, you'll see it in access to services like education, health, and others, and more so become most prominent in decision making. You may be aware that today Rwanda's parliamentarians have the highest female majority anywhere in the world. At 64%, the female representation in parliament of Rwanda is the highest worldwide. This is really at the core of the current philosophy of what being Rwandan is. It's about woman, man, boy child, girl child, equal access to all the available facilities in our country. In fact, there was a recent ranking in the Global Competitiveness Report that had shown Rwanda to be 7th worldwide and first overall in Africa in providing this kind of gender parity in all available services in the country.
Okay, are there any specific projects that are geared towards gender equality as from RDB?
Well, at RDB, we believe that the underlying principle of gender equality is what governs what we do. You don't even have to think about it twice. We don't have a specific program for gender equality. It is something that you don't think about twice. It is at the core of how I manage my office. It's the core of how my colleagues manage their respective departments. It's at the core of how we relate with each other. And so gender equality and equality of all persons in general, it has really begun to be part and parcel of our core business.
As we come to a close of our interview, what should we look forward to in 2015 moving forward, both locally and internationally, in terms of financial projections and some milestones that RDB has set for Rwanda to achieve?
Wherever you are living in Africa, whether it's in Lagos, in Accra, in Libreville, whether you are in Dakar, Morocco, or Cairo, or in Addis Ababa, or in Cape Town, Johannesburg, wherever you are in Africa, today the Rwanda Air is coming closer to you, now reaching directly 17 destinations in Africa and expanding. We would like you to take advantage of the Rwanda Air expansion. Come see Rwanda. This is the country where you can do business. It's a country where you can have fun, you can enjoy, you can rest. It's your home. As an African, you do not require a visa. You just have to show up in Rwanda and the doors will be open to you. We believe that by doing this, opening our doors, that Rwanda can be the gateway for the whole continent to also reach the world. We believe that Rwanda is demonstrating to the rest of Africa that we as Africans can truly be one, that we do not have to require a visa, that we can also prosper on the basis of our own resources and be able to enjoy the benefits that the rest of the world has taken for granted for a long time.
You've heard it from the man behind the implementation himself, the CEO of the Rwanda Development Board, illustrating a proper plan for action as Rwanda seeks to achieve the projections made for 2015 and beyond and have more presence on the global market. To give us feedback about this episode, email us at dbir@abn360.com, and for more information, log on to www.cnbcafrica.com. My name is George Ndirango. On behalf of the entire Doing Business in Rwanda team, thank you for watching and keep it CNBC Africa, first in business worldwide.